On this channel, we're always making Noelle #1, so we're going to be showcasing a couple of different ways, including my favorite ways to make Noelle teams going into 2025. The thing you need to keep in mind when making a Noelle and Xilonen team composition is the requirements for the resistant shred for Xilonen, because that is going to be one of the most important and powerful parts of her kit, meaning that you need to have the ability to transform 2 of her source samples into either Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro. You need 2 of these element types minimum in your team, and since you're using her with Noelle, well, guess what? You can only have 0 other Geo characters, 0 other Dendro characters, and 0 other Animo characters. Now, as we have Noelle in our team composition already, we already know her favorite friend is going to be none other than Furina, as Furina and Noelle do wonderfully together, with the ability for Furina to drain everyone's HP, and Noelle and now Xilonen as well to heal your team members up. Xilonen can do this as well with her elemental burst. This team composition of these 3 are going to give you the ×2 Geo resonance bonus. So you're going to be doing more damage with your Noelle, a little bit with your Xilonen as well, getting some extra Geo damage through not just the damage percent bonus, but the Geo resistant shred as well. For a 4th character, the one that I'm going to be running in this video, there are going to be others, but the one that I like the most is obviously going to be none other than Xilonen. Xilonen's going to be another character who is fantastic here. Xilonen's going to add additional damage bonus as well as sub DPS to our team with her Depth Clarion dice, in conjunction with her Ascension passive Adept with Ease, doing damage off the field with her elemental burst, and also buffing up our active character, in this case going to be Noelle, of up to damage bonus of 50% based on the current duration of her elemental burst. This team's going to have a ton of things for your party. You're going to have additional damage bonus from Xilonen as well as Furina, and then none other than Xilonen as well with her artifact setup, which is going to be the Scroll of the Hero of Cinder City, the 4-piece bonus here, giving up to 40% damage bonus for whatever elemental reaction is involved with the wearer of this. And lucky for us, well, the reaction we're going to be doing in this team, since it's going to be 2 Hydro and 2 Geo characters, is going to be Geo on top of Hydro for Geo crystallization, meaning it's going to be buffing up 40% damage for both Geo as well as Hydro, which is every character in our party. And in addition to that, since we are using Xilonen's addition here is going to be the resistant shred for her elemental skill, which is going to be a 36% elemental resistance decrease for both Geo as well as Hydro characters, which is once again going to be every character in our party. You can also facilitate taking even further advantage of this fanfare stack mechanic and damage bonus from Furina on top of your Noelle by equipping your Noelle in the magnificent Marchus Hunter 4-piece setup bonus. As you can see here with my stats, we are at 61.4 crit rate. However, this will go to 97 crit rate once we get access to Marchus Hunter set, which is going to be something that's going to be very easy for us to do, as our HP is going to be constantly increasing from the heals of Xilonen as well as Noelle, and decreasing from having access to Furina in our party, constantly draining HP with her elemental skill. But you have a problem. You don't actually own Xilonen, so who can you put in her spot? You have several very powerful options of team members for you to use, but why were people using Xilonen in the first place? Well, she does 3 big things for this team. Number 1, she's going to buff the damage that your on-field damage dealer, in this case Noelle, is going to be doing with Adept with Ease, but she also has a couple of other powerful options. Lingering Lifeline is going to provide some particles in conjunction with Favonius Warbow to suit up the energy recharge on your team members. But the most important thing a lot of people really forget is the amount of off-field damage that Depth Clarion dice is providing in this team's setup. Because remember, we're already buffing up our damage with Furina, and we're also able to resistant shred our sub DPS as well with Xilonen. Adding another Geo character does sound like it'd be a pretty cool thing, but unless you're Constellation 2, you're not going to be able to activate this resistant shred for anything in your party, both Geo as well as other elements, meaning we're going to be needing to use either a Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro character. So what you're really looking for is a sub DPS character to add to your team that is Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro. And the first character we need to talk about is none other than Fischl. Fischl is going to be a significant source of off-field damage with her elemental skill, as well as extending the duration of Oz with her elemental burst as well. She also has Undone Be Thy Sinful Hex, which is going to be very easily procced, as electro-related elemental reactions are pretty easy to do with either crystallization from Noelle or electro charged from Furina being in the party as well. And when using Fischl in this party member slot, you don't need to build her in any specific way. Just whatever the traditional off-field best DPS Fischl setup is typically will also be better in this team. So if you choose to use Fischl in a little party like this, it's gonna look something like this.
The eternal oasis! The eternal oasis!
If 4 stars aren't really your bag and you wanted to use Yae Miko somewhere, well, let me tell you what. Yae Miko is basically Fischl but primed up in this party. She's going to have the ability of her elemental skill to place these turns down and have them fully buffed up by either Furina as well as Xilonen with the resistant shred and damage buffs. You can get great burst damage from her elemental burst as well when you proc this and use it while your fanfare stacks are at maximum. And just like Fischl, she's not going to require any specific build to utilize her correctly in this team composition. And honestly, this is one of my most favorite areas that I've been using Yae Miko in recently. If you want a little test run on 12.3, well, here you go. And while not traditionally a sub DPS, Raiden Shogun does have the ability to do a little bit of off-field damage with her elemental skill, but she's known for her on-field time with her elemental burst, secret art, Muso Shensetsu. Raiden being in your team is going to alleviate a lot of energy recharge needs on your Furina as well as your Noelle. You can trade the on-field time of Raiden Shogun during her burst with the on-field time of Noelle, because as a Noelle main, you know that you can swap Noelle freely in and out of her elemental burst form. And just like the other characters, you don't need to utilize any special build on your Raiden Shogun either. Just use a DPS Raiden Shogun with Emblem of Severed Fate, and then pick your best / favorite weapon for her to do as much damage as possible. You want a showcase of what this looks like on 12.3? Well, here you go. Another character who looks a little awkward here might be Xingling, but Xingling's been performing fantastically well in this party. Her off-field damage with her elemental skill, Global Attack and Burst Pyronado perform pretty well here, as they're both off-field damage which don't take up field time from your Noelle. You will have that resistant shred from Xilonen, and the damage bonuses help her out a ton here as well. You can also get a tiny little attack buff for your Noelle as well from the Pepper, or you can just feed it to Xingling on top of that. And if you choose to use her in this party comp setup as well, you will also be able to do a little bit of vaporization reactions between Furina and Xingling on top of that. If you're looking for how this team might perform, well, here's a little bit of 12-3 of action for you.
Your coming was foretold. The eternal oasis at long last.
Let me know which of these team setups you saw in this video you liked the most. Let me know what you've been using with this team as well. These core 3 are fantastic. Make sure to hit that sub button, and I'll see you in the next one.